And here now, with an editorial reply to a recent feature on the Record Journal Athletes of the Week, is Miss Emily Latella.
What's all this fuss I keep hearing about athletes of the week? Why, this is an outrage! Track is dangerous enough. Throwing the javelin and the iron frisbee and the little metal ball. And now they're throwing axes? What's next? Chainsaws? I think they should be outlawed.
Miss Latella, that's Athletes of the Week. Not axe feats. Athletes.
Oh, well, that's different. Never mind.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you may happen to be tuning in. I am Brian Carpenter, and Chevy Chase I am not, nor am I Gilda Radner, but we thank you for the inspiration, and we thank you for tuning in to Record Journal Athletes of the Week, Fall Edition, Episode 8. Oh my God, Spencer, it's like we're on the other side of Election Day. Happy day to you. I don't want to say there's meaning in color, but sometimes there's meaning in color. Folks, we are in the CIAC tournaments. We are smack dab in the middle. We're coming to you on Wednesday. We have our winners from Week 7, our candidates from Week 8, and after that we're hitting the road, getting out and about to cover all our state tournament games and also our football games on Friday, which will bring you highlights of Saturday and this week in high school sports. Will we not, Spencer? You got it? He's on it. Spence is on it. And Spence is also on our Week 7 interviews with our winners. Again, voting was good, and the girls' race, Spence, was crazy good, how close it was. If you remember, with the girls, last week we had the 2x2 Noah's Ark edition, the pairs version of Athletes of the Week. We had from Southington Volleyball, Olivia Carpenter and Brooke Cooney. From Lyman Hall Swimming, we had Sarah Beveridge and Katie Driscoll. They just barely got out-touched at the wall, but there was a lot of votes for everybody. And our winners by a fingertip, but an impressive fingertip, from Meriden Co-op Swimming, Miss Avery Benigni and Hind Moumon. We caught up with them earlier this week. Shawnee.
All right, this is Sean Krofsik here at Platt High School. We're at the pool, and we're here with our female tandem Athletes of the Week. Avery Benigni, here, freshman on my left, and Hind Moumon, to be only a freshman, and you tell me about some of the highlights of the year.
Well, at our last meet, I made it to states in 2 events, and I was all conference twice. Yeah. That was really exciting.
Yeah. Hind, how about you? What have been some highlights for you this year?
I guess I went under 6 minutes for my 500 free that I was really trying to do this whole season. I
see you've won 10 races this year in the 200 IM and the 100 fly, the 500 free. What would you say is your best race?
I think it's the 500 free.
What do you like most about that race?
I don't have to sprint the whole time. I could just take my time, but still got to go fast at the same time.
Avery. Now you're more of a sprinter. I see. Yeah, as you just said, the 50, the 100 free, the 200 free, the 100 fly. What would you say your most favorite event is?
The 50 free, I guess.
Yeah. Is it just because you like to sprint and then?
I like to sprint, and it's the quickest event.
What's it like being a co-op team and joining together this time of year?
I like it, cause some of the girls we don't go to school to, so we get to see them at practice, and it's really fun.
I kind of do at most times, because like the last week we get to be at Platt and stuff, but the whole rest of the season is at Maloney. It's tiring with the bus, but it's also nice to meet other people at the same time, people you don't go to school with.
What do you guys hope to accomplish in your next few years here with the program?
I just want to keep dropping time and doing my personal best, and I hope to see the team grow and get more wins.
Drop times and try and make it to states in the years coming.
Thank you, girls, for taking time to speak out with Shawnee and Spence. Spence, you guys had an interview also earlier today with our boys winners, right? Remember, from Week 7, we had the tandem from the Gridiron from Southington. We had Tanner LaRosa and Mr. Matt Thompson. And from Cheshire, Jake McAlinden and Colby Griffin. And from Wilcox Tech, Devario Reid and Sebastian Lopez. Our winner there, as you'll soon see, from Wilcox Tech football, Devario Reid and Sebastian Lopez.
We're here with our male athletes of the week, the tandem from Wilcox Tech football, Devario Reid and Sebastian Lopez. It's a big showing here at Wilcox Tech. Lots of votes here. Sebastian, what's the season been like for the team?
It's been pretty good. We're 2-6 right now, but the athlete of the week, it was pretty good.
Yeah, what does it mean to you to be selected?
It means a lot. I'm really proud of myself and the team.
Yeah, and Devario, how about you? You know, to be selected as athlete of the week, how special is that for you?
I think it's a pretty good milestone for me and for the Wilcox football team. It gives us a lot of publicity, good publicity. It shows that we are more capable of things than what people think. You know.
Yeah, and you see Devario's on crutches. Tell us what happened, Devario.
Well, last game I went to go make a really hard cut inside, and I just rolled my ankle completely, and doctors say I fractured it, so I'm out for 2 weeks, and I should be able to play for the last game of the season.
Yeah. And Devario said that, you got hurt in the beginning of that game. You gutted it through, and you still had a big game for the team.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. 3 touchdowns, 150 yards. We still lost, but it was a really close game, and fans weren't disappointed. So.
Yeah. Now, Sebastian, you had a big game against Prince, where you had an interception and 10 tackles. Tell me about that game.
I was just on my ball game, That interception I had, I don't know what happened when I fell. I think he just hit my foot, but overall it was a good game.
Yeah.
Devario and Sebastian, thank you for taking time to speak with Shawnee. They'll be playing down in Milford on Friday against Platt Tech, and then they'll have their rivalry game with Vinyl Goodwin on the night before Thanksgiving. Check out the boys that night. And one more time with Devario Reid, congratulations to him. He is the first Wilcox Tech running back to go over 1,000 yards in a season. I did go back and double check it. We got all these records, Spence. Back when we wrote things down, we actually wrote this down. Wilcox Tech's first season, they had a real good player, Jeffrey Vidal. He was the guy. He was the workhorse. And he had over 900 yards, but didn't quite get to 1,000. About 5-6 years ago, they had a real talented kid, Colin Jandro. You probably remember Colin. Also, another kid, over 900 yards in a season, didn't quite get to 1,000. So, Devario Reid, it's confirmed. Put it in the books, stamp it, seal it, mail it, whatever you want to do with it. You are the first 1,000-yard rusher in Wilcox Tech football history. All right, we're going to move on to our Week 8 slate of candidates. We're going to start with the boys. Do we have any football guys in the mix? Well, you know what? We spread the wealth. We had 3 football guys last week, so we're going to go to some of the other sports. And actually, as it turns out, it just so happens to turn out, our timing is really, really good. We're going to start, first of all, with cross country. And we're going to go with the guy who is proven to be the leader of the pack when it comes to area running this fall. He is from Cheshire, Mr. Brendan Mellett. Boom, there he is. He's a junior. We just met with him on Sunday because we had our all-record journal shoot. We're doing an all-record journal cross-country team, field hockey, everything. We're going to do all the teams this year. We started with cross-country, so we were having pizza with Brendan before he ran 10 miles, as a warm-up. He is candidate number 1 here in Week 8, and for obvious reasons. He's our only state open qualifier. He ran a 16:36 in that race at Wickham Park, finished 15th, which sends him to the New England Championships this weekend up in Manchester, New Hampshire. We wish Brendan luck up there. Fine runner, and he's a junior. He'll be back next year. For now, he is boys nominee number 1 here in Week 8. Now, boys nominees 2 and 3 are they go hand in hand. They don't go to the same school, but they're going to be on the same field tomorrow afternoon over at Wilcox Tech in a boys soccer game we're looking forward to. Class L, second round, all Meriden here in the Silver City. Can you believe it? We're going to start with, from Wilcox, the home team, who else? Kelvin Cortez. Kelvin Cortez, what can you say about the senior other than he is one of the best to ever play at Wilcox Tech. All-time leading scorer. He has 24 goals on this season, and he led the Indians to a share of the CTC Conference Championship last week. They scored 10 goals in the tournament. Kelvin was a part of 7 of them. He scored 5, set up 2 others. He's the guy. If Maloney's going to beat Wilcox tomorrow, they're going to have to stop Kelvin. Kelvin, you are boys nominee number 2 here in Week 8. Boys nominee number 3 from Maloney, Mr. Ben Pierce. We're glad to have Ben back aboard. He's a former All-Record Journal player. He's been an Athlete of the Week before. And what a week for Ben. How do we leave Ben off? We don't. He scored 4 goals in the rivalry match back on the 29th of October against Platt. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4. Hat trick plus 1. And then the bigger game for Maloney was the first round of the Class L tournament against Bristol Eastern last night in the rain over in Bristol. Goes to overtime, goes to penalty kicks. Maloney pulls out the win there by beating Bristol Eastern 4-3 in PKs, and Ben Pierce had one of those. There's no question that Dave Parness had confidence with Ben going to the line, and we'll see. Ben and the Spartans made the Class L quarterfinals last year. Will they do it again? If they beat Wilcox Tech on Thursday, they will. Either way, we're excited because we're going to have a Meriden team in the Class L boys soccer quarterfinals. Also excited to have Ben Pierce back, boys nominee, number 3 here in Week 8. All right, and before we move on to our girls slate of nominees here in Week 8, I have to say a thank you to my good friend Lisa Nelson, who works in payroll here at the Record Journal, because in our cold opening, I borrowed her sweater for the Gilda Radner Emily Latella character. Emily Latella, her sweater was red. I didn't have a red sweater. My wife would not let me borrow any of her sweaters. Would not. I got shut down. No room for debate. So I knew Lisa had one here, and Lisa's good. So she was good to let me borrow it, and I want to thank her, though. Truth be told, I actually really didn't ask her. We shot that on Friday, Spence, and I kind of just took it. But Lisa, I knew you were okay with that, so I want to thank you. All right, enough of that. We are going to move on to our girls' slate of nominees, and Spencer's taking a look at my dry erase board here, and he's stealing a peek, so he knows who it is. You see, it's the Julia week. 2 of our girls are named Julia, including from Cheshire Volleyball, Miss Julia Bardier. We're so glad to have her aboard from Cheshire Volleyball because the Rams, of course, defended their SEC tournament championship, remained undefeated, and they did it in dramatic fashion Saturday night in East Haven. They're down 2-0 to Amity. I'm thinking, oh my God, here's another Cheshire team that's going to lose in the SEC Finals, see a perfect season get blown up. No, the Rams come charging back. They win 3-2. They're 21-0 going into the state tournament, which for them opens tomorrow night at home. We're going with Julia Bardier as our Athlete of the Week nominee because she had a huge tournament right on through, especially in the finals against Amity. 11 kills, 4 blocks, 3 aces, did a little bit of everything. Good for you, Julia. You are girls nominee number 1 here in week number 8. Julia number 2, girls nominee number 2, it is from Sheehan Soccer, Miss Julia Podchaski. And Julia, if I have mispronounced your name, I dearly, dearly apologize. But we took note of what you've been doing all season. 6 goals, 6 assists, 2 in the opening round of the Class M state tournament. The Titans advance to play Nanawag on Wednesday. That's just in a couple hours, Spence. The girls from Sheehan are out at Woodbury. Coach Rob Yulesman and his girls, Julia Podchaski. Let's see what they can do if they can get to the quarterfinals. Sheehan girls soccer is always a good bet to go far in the tournament based on their SEC regular season play. We'll see what they can do. For now, Julia, girls nominee number 2 in week 8. That leaves one more girl. And you know what, Spence? I'm going to the swimming pool. And you know why? Because we got some great swimmers this year, some good teams. And the state class meets are next Tuesday and Wednesday at Wesleyan and Southern. And we know our girls are going to do some good stuff there. They just did some good stuff in the conference meets, including this girl from Southington, Miss Megan Hammerling. She's back after last week at Cornerstone Aquatics up in West Hartford. She won the CCC West 100 Backstroke Championship, which is cool and all, but what makes it doubly cool is she broke her own school record in doing it. I wrote down her time, but I didn't have to look at it because it's right up here in my mind. I was impressed with your time, Megan. 1 minute, 0.81, breaks her own school record, CCC West 100 Backstroke Champion. She was also on the medley relay team that finished first. And individually, she was second in the butterfly. She will definitely be a girl to watch in the class meets next week. For now, Megan Hammerlin, good to have you back. You are girls nominee number 3 here in week 8. And Spence, that's a wrap. Hockey puck, tennis, football. We've got our new slate of candidates. And when you see this video, it's about 6 o'clock on Wednesday. You don't have to vote today, at least not in the kind of voting you did yesterday. But you can vote if you're still in the spirit. The Record Journal Athletes of the Week poll. It goes from now through Sunday. Voting's been great all season. Look forward to another good round of results. And if we have to have a recount, Spence, we know we've got our paper ballots. We've got it covered. All right. I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the Meriden Record Journal. I thank you for tuning in to Athletes of the Week and also tune back in with us on Saturday for This Week in High School Sports Football Edition. Thank you. Be good.